This presentation is called How to Empower Disability by Amira Rasheed. I was told to tell you a little bit about myself. So, who is Amira Rasheed? I am a person with a college degree. I am a person who has a valued job. I am a person who has a great family, who has great friends, and who has wonderful support around me that supports me in everything. Some of the things I like to do, I like to go to the gym and work out. I like to read. I like to shop. And I like to cook. The things I value in life is my family, my friends, and my work and my coworkers. People often think just because a person has a disability, they think that we don't value the same things that quote unquote a normal human being values. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Objectives: empower, make someone stronger and more confident, especially when controlling their life and claiming their rights. Protect, keep safe from harm or injury. Provide, make adequate preparation for a possible event. Educate citizens on how to appropriately interact with citizens with disabilities. What is a disability? A physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. A disadvantage or handicap, especially one imposed or recognized by the law. And what are stereotypes of a disability? There are several ways to offend persons with disabilities. How can you offend a person with disability? An actual disability can be attitude. I would like to share a link with you, which is http://www.mtstcil.org/skills/disability history chapter 1. What is disability? How many people are labeled having an actual disability? Millions of people are affected by a disability every year. The U.S. Census estimates that 56.7 million persons are reported to have a disability in the world today. 20% in the population had some level of disability, and 26 million had a severe disability. But only 7 million people use a visible device today. Estimated 85% of disabilities are hidden disabilities. They cannot be seen or recognized without knowing the person first. I am going to share another link to you. It is https://census.gov/archives/miscellaneous/cb12-134.html. Disability rights. Humans are formally recognized in the human rights laws. In 2006, United Nations General Assembly adopted the Convention on the Human Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Human rights applies to every person in the world, even you. What rights do people with disabilities have? The ADA allowed individuals with disabilities to attend schools, obtain jobs, has made buildings more accessible. Individuals with disabilities are not simply known as a disability. Individuals with disabilities are not simply known as a disability, but as a person with abilities. There's another link I would like to share with you that's on this page. That is www.un.org/development/DESA/disabilities. Disability rights. Americans with Disabilities Act. The next bullet is Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Civil Rights. Institutionalized Persons Act. Each person must know their rights and understand their human rights. Provide and use the organizations that are provided in our diagram here on the page. In 2000, the U.S. government passed a law called the DD Act. For short, ACT means the law and DD means developmental disabilities. The diagram that you see on the side will explain how the DD Act works. Disability rights, basic expectations of professionals. People with a disability deserve equal opportunity. Employment and wages. Special accommodations are part of the law and are expected to be there. Disability rights, community recreation, social inclusion. The attitudes toward people with disabilities. I want to reference the documentary off of Netflix. It's called Crip Camp. Why is it important for people with disabilities to get out in the community? Ask yourself, what would you like to change in your community? Write 3 things you would like to change in your community and share it with your professor. Disability etiquette refers to respectful communication and interacting with people with disabilities. Rely on common sense. Behave in the same courteous and respectful way with everyone, regardless of abilities, disabilities, or what you may have. Now I'm going to give you some tips that you may use with people that may have impairments. Position yourself at eye level, especially when you're talking to someone in a wheelchair. Do not lean on the wheelchair, although I don't mind, but generally speaking, do not lean on no one's wheelchair. You're invading their space. Never patronize them by patting them on the head or shoulder. Ask a person before you push them. Don't assume that they need assistance. Disability etiquette. You must use people first language. Recognize the person first and not the disability. A general rule is don't ask questions about the disability unless the person with the disability brings it up. There are people that I, like myself, that I don't mind questions. I think the more the questions, the better. But it is a general rule. If you offer assistance, wait till the offer is accepted and wait for instructions. Because you don't know their abilities and you don't want to take away their abilities. Speak directly to the person. Disability etiquette, communication with someone with a visual impairment or blindness. Use a normal voice when speaking and clearly state your name. Speak when approaching to alert them when you are there. Never attempt to hold or lead a person without asking first. If you offer a seat, gently place a hand of the person on the back or arm of the chair. Disability etiquette, communication, speech impairments. Ask the individual to repeat if you don't understand. Do not act like you understand what they are saying without really understanding. Ask the individual if writing down what they want to say is a good alternative. If you are still having difficulties understanding, ask questions that require short answers. Concentrate and active listen to what they're saying and what they're trying to communicate. Do not speak for the individual or finish their sentences. That is patronizing them. And be patient and take time. Communication with cognitive disabilities. Be patient, flexible, and supportive. Relax, treat with dignity, respect, and courteous. Listen and offer assistance. And not only listen, but active listener. Treat individuals age appropriately. You don't want to treat a 50-year-old like a 5-year-old and a 5-year-old like a 50-year-old. Use short phrases dependent on the individual's capacity. And ask questions with a set of responses to choose from. Ask the person that you're communicating with the best way to communicate with them. Is there any alternatives? Repeat or rephrase if necessary for the individual to understand the question or the phrase you're trying to communicate with them. Communication, deaf or hard of hearing. Speak to the person and not to the interpreter. Offer alternative means to communication. Gain the person's attention before starting a conversation with them. Look directly at the individual. Speak in a normal tone. Do not chew gum, etc. Text on the telephone. Dial 711 to reach National Telecommunication Relay Services or Video Relay Services. Have you ever asked, where does the word handicap come from? Discussion. Where do you think the word handicap comes from? Be an advocate for people with disabilities, especially in your role. You would make a very good advocate for your patients or your client or what may have you, or for your loved ones. Ask yourself, what does it mean for you to be an effective advocate? I have a statement for you. In your work, you have to have a lot of positivity, and positive thoughts start from within. You build it from the things you can do, goals you have in life, the things you learn to help others, and to allow others to help you. So if you can teach your client or your patient that will be the most valuable thing you can give them as a provider. I gave you professors some activities to share with you. Activity 1. What is something positive you can share with someone? How can they take the positive action shared and apply it to their life? Your attitude drives everything. The definition of an advocate. Speak up for what you believe in. Desires you may have and that you achieve. What is the definition of focus, concentration, and energy? Activity 2. Write a letter to yourself. And this was shared as well with your professor that she, I believe, shared with you guys in the activity. To yourself. First, congratulate yourself on the things that you accomplished. Then tell yourself the goals that you want to accomplish in life. Example, dear me, good job for getting good grades this semester. Good job in finishing the huge project in English class 2. 2 goals that I really want to accomplish in life are graduating from my graduating program and going skydiving to celebrate. Even though people think that's a bad idea, I love to be a daredevil. Love me. You have to love yourself. I also shared resources, and there's a page and a half of resources that you're going to find in your in this presentation that was shared by your professor. Thank you so much. It was great presenting to you folks. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach me at AmiraRasheed7@gmail.com.